the students, the parents, and the grandmoms and aunts and uncles who are here. In a country of 130 crore people, almost 10,000 students get to go to IIT. Right? And I think it's a matter of great pride for every one of you to feel good about this success. And I'll tell you why there should be additional reasons to feel good about being at IIT Gandhinagar. But let me first express my deepest appreciation to Mr. Sahu here today. Sahu Saab has been a great friend for the Institute. Of course, I have known him for more than 15 years now. From his earthquake work, he reconstructed the entire Gujarat's earthquake affected areas, and I used to be involved in some small ways there. But more importantly, when I came here in IIT Gandhinagar in 2009, I knew in Mr. Sahu I have a very good friend to whom I could go anytime, and I used to go to him, seek his help. He was in very senior position in government of Gujarat, and if there are things that he could do for me, he will do it. But if there were things that other officers were doing in which he was not involved, he would guide me how to get things done. And if today we have done well, it is because of Mr. Sahu and many other friends like him that we are here today. I must also express my deep appreciation of two of my young alumni friends, Kishle Pankaj and Nisarg Shah, for being here today. Each one of you must have wondered that these people were exactly like you only 5 or 6 or 7 years back. And in 6 years' time, you will be standing here, hopefully, and telling your life stories to another bunch of students who will be only 7 years younger than you. And we are indeed very proud of you and your other batchmates and our alumni. Indeed, if there is something that IIT Gandhinagar has done well in last 8 years, it is to provide outstanding education, outstanding attitude, outstanding values to our young friends like them and hopefully to people like you. You've been hearing the word foundation program. What is foundation program? The whole idea was that for several years, the students are under tremendous pressure to come into IIT, to study physics, chemistry, math, somehow to crack the exam, somehow to go to JEE coaching, somehow get admission. And we thought that is not the way a young person should spend his or her life. We thought that there are many other things important in life that they would have learned if they were not under so much pressure. And we listed out what are those things that we thought that they were important, but somehow those things were not high priority because JEE became the high priority. And we said before we start to teach them again, we must focus back on those important things which because of pressure of JEE exam, somehow they kept on the side. And that is how the foundation program was started. In fact, we have been running this program starting from 2011. This is the 6th time that this program is being run, and slowly other institutions are talking about it. This year, several other institutions have written to me saying, please tell us how you do it. Please tell us if somebody can tell us how they have done it. We would like to start the program. I know of at least one other institution in India which has been doing this program now after learning from us for last several years, and their director told me a few months back how the results of foundation program have transformed the undergraduate students' results in his own institution. Let me try to tell you a few things first. First of all, why is it that there are so many students who want to come to IIT? IITs are not very old institutions. The first IIT came in Kharagpur in 1950s. The other few IITs, 4 IITs came in late 50s, early 60s. But there are other engineering colleges which are much older. There are other engineering colleges where it is much easier to get admission. So why is it that the students want to come to IIT? The reason is that IITs are different. What is the difference? We can go into details of that, but let us agree that they are different, right? If you agree with me that IITs are different, and that is why so many students prepare so hard for it, that is why their parents work so hard for it, that is why their life of the entire family is revolving around that student preparing for the IIT, there must be something special about that. What I want to say next is that IIT Gandhinagar is not a normal IIT. And that is a very big problem that I have. Because many times people come to me from other IITs and they get surprised. Because they have expectations that we are like an IIT. They think that we would do things in certain way that happen in other IITs. For example, they get surprised that for first 5 weeks, we will teach you no classes. They will get surprised that we will celebrate if you are a good singer. We will celebrate your freedom. We will celebrate if you decide not to study. Right? My 2 alumni friends told you of their stories. This is actually a fact. I have been requesting my faculty from day one that if a student does not want to study, we cannot treat them as children, slap them on the left side or right side, and make them come to the class. They must learn to take their responsibilities seriously. So, you will see in many, many respects that we are a very, very different IIT. In many IITs, the IIT would send a grade card to the parent. Your son or daughter has done 5 courses, these are the grades she got, failed in one course or passed in all courses. We think that we are not treating you as children. We thought that we are treating you as adults. You are 16 years, 17 years, 18 years. How many of you are more than 18 years? The students, more than 18 years. How many of you are below 18 years? All right, so it's very clear. Majority of you, maybe 80% of you are below 18 years. If you go to any bank in our country, they will not let you sign the documents because you are less than 18 years. Your parents will have to sign it. When you will come out of IIT Gandhinagar, you all will be more than 18 years and no bank will allow your parents to sign your papers. In that respect, IIT Gandhinagar is a machine into which children are entering and adults are exiting. Right? There is a machine in which बच्चे अंदर आ रहे हैं और बड़े बाहर निकल रहे हैं. उस मशीन के अंदर वो बच्चे बड़े हो जाते हैं. हिंदी आता है सबको? Now, if I am in the business of treating my institute in a good way, if I am in the business of running my institute in a good way, if I am a machine which is converting children into adults, will it help me in my objectives if I treat them as children, or will it help me to drive a car, accelerating the car but having the handbrake on? कभी चलाया है गाड़ी किसी ने handbrake चालू करके? Right? You are slowing down the process of converting children into adults if you treat them as children. On the other hand, if you treat them as adults, even though they are children, right? Even though they are less than 18 years old, you treat them as adults, keep a little bit of watch on them, give them a little bit of guidance, little bit of counseling, little bit of help. You think they will become adults better or faster? Yes or no? Wonderful. That is what IIT Gandhinagar is all about. We want our students to learn how to negotiate with their parents if they fail the class. We want our students to tell their parents in their own way that I didn't do well, I failed. We don't want to be telling the parent, your son has failed, isko jara thapad maro, samjhao isko. We don't want that to happen. Because if that happens, what is this student going to do? He's going to avoid me and avoid parents both. Because parents and I have come on the same direction. We both have become common enemies. On the other hand, I have a choice of being on the side of the student, work with the student, help him. I have counselors, I have professionals to help the student. I am on the side of the student. The student can come and tell me, tell my colleagues, tell my counselors, I have a problem, I need help. And we will maintain confidentiality. We will maintain secrets that students will tell the counselor. In fact, the understanding that the institute has is that the counselor is not supposed to tell even me, the director, who is the boss, about the individual students. He is not allowed to tell me that this student, particular student, has done this really bad thing. Because this student came and told her things in confidence. Because the student was asking help. And if this student knows that she will go tell everybody, he will not tell. He will not share. He will not come and seek help. So you will find in numerous ways we are a different institution. And that is a problem. That is a problem because many parents who are present here in this hall, they sent another child, another son, another daughter to another IIT, another college. And they have certain expectations. They expect that this is the way IIT administration will deal with the parents. This is the way IIT administration will deal with the student. And it takes quite a bit of time to understand that we are not a normal IIT. That is the problem to me when I hire faculty from other IITs. Because they come and become my faculty. They want to treat the students in the same way that they saw the students being treated elsewhere. Right? So there is a lot of communication that we need to do. And I hope, since parents are available here in this room, I thought this is a very, very important point that students and parents must internalize, understand, appreciate that we would maintain much higher standards than any IIT would. That is very important for us. Every year, our students who finish their studies, they celebrate a farewell function. And they have given a very nice name for that event called Udaan. Ud jate hain uske baad. Udaan. Right? And that is when the students give some speeches, some faculty also give speeches. I am also asked to speak. And this year, one of the students came to the dais. In a speech, he said, he's so lucky that he solved a few problems wrong. That is how he ended up at IIT Gandhinagar. Otherwise, he would have ended up in one of the older IITs. It is a tragedy of my country that in a country of 130 crore people, 10,000 students qualify. Their parents should be celebrating. Their friends should be celebrating. But everybody is unhappy. Why? Because the rank is only 100. If it had not been 100, it had been 50, the boy could have gotten computer science and such and such. The rank is only 500. If it had not been 500 but 100, he would have gotten such and such branch. They are unhappy that the rank is only 2000. If it had been 500, they would have gone to such and such branch, such and such college. They are unhappy that the rank is 8000. And if they had only some more problems right, they would have gotten a 4000 rank and they would have gotten better branch. It is a tragedy in our country because we don't see what is good. We see what we wanted, we didn't get. This is like going with your family, with your mummy and daddy to celebrate your JEE result and saying, आज घर में खाना नहीं बनेगा, लल्लू की JEE में रैंक आई है और हम सब लोग आज रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाएंगे. So now the whole family goes to a restaurant. And now there is a discussion. Should we go into Chinese food? Should we go into South Indian food? Should we go into Gujarati food? They end up going to Chinese. And after going to Chinese food, what does Lallu say? Mom, mujhe dosa chahiye. Can you believe that? You go to Chinese food and you are asking for dosa. And mummy is also saying, beta, I know, तेरे पापा सुनते नहीं हैं, South Indian में ले जाना चाहिए था या Chinese में लाके बैठा दिया. Then calls the waiter, भैया सुनो, तुम क्या डोसा बना सकते हो? The waiter says, मैडम ये Chinese है, यहाँ चाउमीन मिलता है, डोसा नहीं मिलता. So Lallu is more okay. So mummy is really worked up. How can mummy see her son, such a precious son, be affected? So after some time, mummy has another brilliant idea. She calls the waiter again. She says, यार सामने एक साउथ इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट है ना, वहां से डोसा बना के चुपके से छिपा के लिया. Come on, guys. You have to celebrate what you have. If you are sitting in a Chinese restaurant, enjoy Chinese food. Don't complain. Experience. If at the end of it, you feel this was not a good restaurant, don't go there second time. Right? But don't sit in a Chinese restaurant and ask for a South Indian food. Right? What this means is, enjoy what you have, make best out of it, learn from it, and do better next time. One of the very important thing for us in IIT Gandhinagar is to provide extraordinary support to the students. I'm saying extraordinary support to the students. What that means is that if a student has any problem whatsoever, emotional problem, health problem with studies, the boy likes a girl very much and the girl is not paying attention to him, any problem, there is somebody who is willing to listen, there is somebody who is willing to help, there is somebody willing to guide, there is somebody who will work with the student to hopefully find a solution. And that extends to even financial help. If somebody is really having a financial need, the parents are not in a position to cover certain expenses, and if that student wants some help, IIT Gandhinagar would go the extra mile. We will make the extraordinary effort, and we will see that my students are comfortable. What that means is, it also puts a lot of responsibility on the students. It also means that the students would not come and create frivolous requirements. The students would not take the things for granted. It means that a student would seek help when that student really needs help. Just because director stood on the podium and said we are all available doesn't mean that if one day you have a little headache, you'll go into director's room and say, Director Sahab, what do I do now? I have a headache. Right? You have to learn to act in a responsible manner, and we expect you to maintain very high level of ethics, very high level of hygiene. एक अच्छा माहौल बनाने के लिए आप सबकी जरूरत है. We are perhaps one of the rare institutions where we would be very unhappy when we see a student bring in a fake income certificate. Because there is a certain scholarship available if the parental income is below that. To us, that's a very big no-no. That means the student doesn't belong here. that means the student should go some other institution. That is not acceptable. When we are going out of the way to help a student, we expect every student to also understand that there is a sense of responsibility to not abuse that trust. We trust the student, we expect the student to be worthy of that trust. We expect that student to come to us only if there is a genuine need. What this also means is that we need cooperation of the parents. We need the parents to understand that they need to give some space for their students to grow. They need some freedom for their children to grow here. If the mother is going to make 3 phone calls every day, morning in 6 o'clock, beta jage ki nahi jage, another 1 hour, beta nashta khaya ki nahi khaya, beta aaj class gaya ki nahi gaya, aaj class mein kya padhaya tha, sham ko khane mein kya mila tha. If you worry too much about your son or daughter and make a 4 phone calls, 3 phone calls every day, try to keep track of the child, I think that would be a problem. Initially, your child will feel very good about it, but slowly he will start to resent you, he will start to avoid you, he will start to stop receiving your calls. My request to all the parents is, please help us groom these students into very responsible adults, into very responsible people. They are very fortunate. In order for an institution to be able to provide an extraordinary education, you need good people, good teachers, senior students, staff members. You need good laboratories, good infrastructure, hostels, classrooms, auditoriums. And you need good attitude in the student himself or herself. Fortunately for us, we have all three. We have possibly the best faculty this country has. Our faculty members' qualifications, if you were to look at on the website, you'll find them extraordinary in terms of their qualifications, in terms of their experience. We are extremely choosy about our faculty. We recruit faculty only after very, very careful due diligence. If you look at the facilities that we have created, if you look at the amenities that we have created, they're extraordinary in every respect. The kind of support that we will provide for using those facilities, and with right attitude, with right thinking, I believe that every student who is present here would have a great opportunity to grow. Ultimately, it is your responsibility. Ultimately, you are going to write the destiny of your own life. People like us can only help you. People like us can only support you, assist you, hold your hand when you are slipping a little bit, help you get up if you have fallen down, but we cannot make you run. You have to learn to run. We will be there to cheerlead you. We will be there to challenge you. We will be there to reprimand you sometimes, but generally we would not be taking responsibility for your success. We would let you take responsibility for your success. We will let you make the effort, and we hope that you will make good use of that effort, good that opportunity. Another thing that one of my speakers said today to you, making friends. How many of the students here are from Gujarat? How many of the students are from Gujarat? And how many are from outside Gujarat? Wonderful. And how many of you are from southern states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana? Any students from the eastern part of India, the West Bengal, the Odisha, the northeastern states? Wonderful. So what you are seeing here is a very, very healthy mix of students coming from all parts of the country. You will similarly see the faculty coming from all parts of the country. It's a national institution. It has an outlook which is very national. Its outlook is very cosmopolitan, right? And it is also cosmopolitan in the sense that it does not matter who your father is, who your mother is. In my 7 years as director of IIT Gandhinagar, only one father came to me trying to influence a certain decision that my dean of students had taken. In my 7 years. In IIT system generally, in IIT Gandhinagar particularly, there is a culture that you may be a very senior officer, you may be a politician, you may be a very rich man, very successful in running your industries, having a lot of wealth, having a lot of influence, being a very famous man or woman, it does not matter. To me, all the children are same, all the students are same, and there will be absolutely no favor to anybody regardless of how influential the family is. So this is something that is a little bit new for many of us. This is something which is very common culture in all the IITs. IIT we are very particular. Please understand this. Do not try to think that just because your brother or aunt or uncle is somebody influential, any disciplinary action, any poor performance issues can be resolved based on that. It doesn't happen. Don't even try that. If you try that, there might be negative repercussions of that. Finally, I would like to say that this 5-week foundation program is an extremely intense program. It starts very early in the morning, goes up to the night, a lot of hard work. This is for you, this is not for me. This will benefit you. These two young men who are sitting on the dais, they will tell you how useful this program is. When you will graduate from here, you will remember this. Please participate in it with entire enthusiasm, with all the energy, with all the positive attitude. Again, don't do the foundation program and ask for a dosa sitting in a Chinese restaurant. Okay? Enjoy the foundation program, learn things that are happening, and trust me, in order to run this foundation program, 5 of my colleagues, faculty colleagues, they have spent almost 3 months preparing for it. How we will conduct, what will happen, who will come, what will be done. There has been 3 months of full-time preparation that these 5 colleagues have done. They will be spending another 5 weeks, practically full-time with you, and perhaps many weeks after that to analyze how it went, what happened, how it can be done better next year. There is a lot of preparation that has gone on, and my particular gratitude to all 5 of you sitting here. Thank you very much, and all the staff members, all the student volunteers. If there is one thing that defines IIT Gandhinagar, it is the teamwork. We all work together, we all work for a common cause, we all are there to win the game. Thank you very much, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all the best.